How many generations does $1 billion last? Theoretically, $1 billion should last roughly 80 generations when you take into account inflation and the average lifetime spending by a single family. But unfortunately, $1 billion doesn't last that long. On average, $1 billion only lasts 3 to 4 generations. This is assuming you reach that $1 billion mark and don't make any more for the remainder of your life. But why does most wealth only last 3 to 4 generations? When wealth is accumulated in your generation, you're the first generation that gets the benefit from that wealth. You have first-hand knowledge and the experience of all that sacrifice, all that time, all those tears, and all those setbacks before you truly had made it. You're the one who created that massive wealth, and thus you know how hard it was for you to make it. Because of that, the first generation will take the most care of that wealth and won't spend it away on useless things. And then there's your kids, the second generation, who will benefit from this enormous wealth that you have accumulated. As children, they saw you struggling to make that wealth. They may have had to skip meals or the occasional Christmas gift because you were so busy building that business. They had a second-hand experience of that struggle to make that money. Because of that, they are the generation that will also take care of that money, but just not as much as you. And then we get to the third generation, the generation that had no direct experience of how that wealth was created. This is where the family wealth starts to go down. Your grandchildren will never see you or their parents struggle for money. For all they know, them being rich is just how things are. They could never imagine what it was like struggling to make any money. Because of that, they see money as something that's always been there. They are more loose with their spending, and that entitled behavior usually appears in this generation. Unless that wealth continues to grow, the third generation is where that growing either shrinks or stops. Then we get to the fourth generation, your great-grandchildren. They are so removed from the struggle of making money, they have little to no concept of how important money is. Their parents never knew that struggle. How would they even have a hint of what you have accomplished so many years ago? If that family wealth hasn't evaporated by the third generation, most wealth disappears during the fourth generation. It would have to take a great amount of financial discipline instilled by their parents, passed down from their parents, passed down from you to save this wealth. Of course, by the time the fourth generation appears, you're old and have since given control to your kids, who have in turn given control to their kids. Not many families can keep their wealth past the fourth generation. The great fortunes of the Rockefellers, the Mellons, and the Morgans have all been reduced through successive generations chipping away. We won't even know if the wealth of Bill Gates, Elon Musk, or Jeff Bezos will last past the next few generations. None of them are grandparents, so there's no third generation yet. The only true backstop is proper education and generational wealth. But in many cases, as long as their wealth continues to grow, it may last longer than 3 to 4 generations. So what are your thoughts? How long does wealth last in your family? Comment below. And as always, take care of your money.